Time to go on the run again. It's your pal Flex. You know what? This guy standing next to me, what if I told you he can run a 5K once in 15 minutes and 40 seconds, or that he can run a 10K in 32 minutes and 11 seconds, or that he finished top 10 2 times in the Shamrock Marathon in 1981 and 1983? You go, oh, I know this guy. It is Tidewater Strider's original Hall of Fame member, Randy Cook, who joins us here on the run. How you doing, Randy?
Great, thanks for having me.
Good, man. Hey, a lot of people always have their stories about how they got started running. What is your story? How did it start for you?
Well, in high school, in Maury High School, I was on the swimming team and the wrestling team, and in my senior year, decided to see if I could build up my wind a little bit better to help me for swimming, so I started jogging. And decided that I liked it better and I was better at it than swimming. So I continued that, then I went on to college and ended up being a halfway decent runner.
Yeah, you know, we all have this weird kind of start, you know, some are different. They just did call it jogging back then, didn't they?
Well, that's true, yeah. The jogging boom or the running boom really hit about 1972 with Frank Shorter when he won the Olympics.
Yeah, but you know, you're fortunate. You know, you're an original Hall of Fame member, and you've seen all these great changes from then to now. What is probably, in your mind, the biggest advancement? Is it the shoes? Is it the technology? What do you think that is?
Well, the training and the fun that people are having now. I mean, back in the day, it was just so rigid and competitive, but now people are having much more fun, you know, whether it be wearing costumes or the post-race parties. That's all fun to see.
How, you know, the inclusion is probably it. You know, I like when I get to go to races, I see so many people going by. Does it affect you the same way? You get that kind of warm feeling inside?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's nice to see so many women. I think in a lot of the races there are more women running than men.
Yeah.
That wasn't allowed back in the day.
Well, you know what? Nowadays, people are running longer into their senior days, but let's be honest, you and I are not getting any younger. In fact, we just aged a minute ago, and you know, had some experiences where the body wasn't going to be able to cash those checks that you had when you were younger. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, in college in the 70s, the norm was to run 90 to 100 mile weeks. I had no choice. I was on the track and cross country team. So that's what the coach told us to do, and it took its toll on my hips. Everybody in my generation are having hip replacements or knee replacements. So I had my first hip totally replaced in 1996. And as they say, if you have one done, you're going to have the other one done, and that happened in 2008. So I had to stop running from 86 all the way till 2012 when I said, let me see if I could do a mile, and I did, and then the bug hit, and next thing I'm doing, you know, 2 miles and 3 miles, and since that time I've now run like 4 half marathons and several 5Ks and 10Ks.
So you told me you also have been doing some pacing for groups and everything as well these days too.
Well, fortunately I found something as I slowed down that I can do to give back to the community. I've been a pacer for Crawling Crab and for Harbor Lights and Shamrock, and I help J&A Racing on Saturday mornings as a group leader, and that's fun to help people reach their goals.
Now you also, you know, not only did you experience this, but you also kind of wrote a book about your experiences as well to kind of give people some insight and a little motivation. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I did, and the name of the book is called Hip Hip Hooray, I'm Running Again. It came out 2 years ago. You can buy it on Amazon, and it's not so much about me. I don't want it to be about me, but to motivate other people. If I can do it, then anybody can run. I mean, you can, that day when you don't feel so good, you know, think of an old crippled person like me that's out there. I'm running 5-6 days a week, about 30 miles a week, so you can do it too.
There you go. Hey, now I do have to ask, because a lot of times when we post all these video blogs and reports, people ask me to ask questions. One of the big questions that everybody always asks is always when we get somebody famous, ask them, what was your favorite kind of race? Is it a 5K race? Is it a marathon? Which one did you like best?
Well, I have to say it was Shamrock. I mean, Shamrock of 81, when I was still competitive and I ran my PR of 2:29. I mean, that was a windy day, like it was 30 to 40 mile winds and 30 degrees. It was an awful day, but I just hit everything right. So, but normally I did best in like the half marathons in the 10-mile runs.
Now, you've been around for a while, so you've seen, you know, running grow, the Tidewater Striders grow. Currently, you know, you got to be really enthused about the state of running as it is with so many different running organizations around and the opportunity for people to be able to run.
That's right. I mean, back in the day when I started running in the mid-'60s, if you ran down a busy street, the bus would stop for you. They think you're trying to catch the bus. You never saw anybody running back in those days.
Nowadays, it's bike lanes and bicycle paths and running paths all over Hampton Roads. We're here hanging out in downtown Norfolk, and do you ever remember running a race around this area?
Well, actually, yes. The King's Daughters had lots of races around here, around the Hague, and this is how I met Dr. Dave Young and Rudy Schuster. Those are old names people might remember from back in the 70s. I was home from college, and they told me about this new group that they were forming, the Tidewater Striders. But this is a popular place for races right here, and we've already seen some people run by while we've just been standing here.
So I got to ask one last thing before we kind of wrap up. Any advice for young runners or people just starting?
Probably the best advice is, when you start, the biggest mistake anyone can make is do too much too soon. I would say every other day in the beginning, okay? And you're going to get sore, you're going to be tired, but also the best thing is go see the pros at Running Etc. Those guys, Mike and John and Doug, they can all hook you up with the best shoes. Make sure, because that's the most important thing. Take care of your feet.
Exactly, because you only got 2 of those too. Randy, you know what? I will tell you, not many people know this. You were one of my assistant coaches in high school, still a great guy and a good friend to know here on the run, Randy. Best of luck to you. We look forward to seeing you out on the races. Next time you see him out there, just go, "Hey, Randy!" Randy Cook, a good friend here on the run.